What is up, YouTube? Surgical Ninja here, and we're back with another Lego Fuego build. This one's coming from AliExpress for $80. And you guys know how it is. This is a first production build. Just came out, and we're going to take the risk of a first production. My last first production and my only one was the UCS Death Star. And the bricks actually were not that good quality, but once they're all clicked into position, it doesn't matter, I guess, because I'm not planning on playing with this, and it's just a display piece. So the quality of the brick shouldn't matter as once you are done building it. Now, the major thing is that pieces could be missing. So let's find out. Are pieces missing? How bad is the brick quality? And does it even matter if it's trash once it's built? So let's build this bad boy up. I'm just glad I didn't spend $600 or $650, $700 after taxes, whatever it is, just for some IP licensing Pokemon Lego. So yeah, let's get to building this thing. Of course, it came with a instruction manual here. And I already knew that looking at this instruction manual, this is way too thin to be useful. Because look at that. They literally put, each of these steps is usually one page. So there's literally like 10 to 20 pages on one page. This is pretty much unusable. And I have learned at this point, if you build as much Lego as I do, just buy and invest in a iPad and use the PDF. Here's an example. This is literally a scan of the instructions. As you can tell here, a single step takes up a whole page, and it even has like the build status here on where you are in the build. So there's 3 books on the actual one. So this is book 1. I'm assuming it's only Venusaur. So yeah, let's get to building here. And yeah, let's get to it. Okay, we got all the bags, bag 1 lined up, going all the way to 15, and we got some extra bags here. Looks like we do have printed Lego pieces. We have Blastoise eyes in there. Ooh, that's actually kind of cool. It's like a little faded flame effect. We have Charizard's eyes in there too. So yeah, it's pretty cool. There are actual printed pieces. A little Blastoise shoulder there. So looks like they were able to get the printed pieces in this set, which goes to show you do not have to charge extra to get printed Lego pieces on an official set. They are just lazy. So if they're able to make this set for $80 and still print the same pieces you guys are printing, that just goes to show how like lazy they are to just develop that, I guess. Anyway, let's get to printing and building and see if the instructions actually follow along with the bags they are supposed to follow. All right, so I did just finish bag 1, and one thing to note is that in this first run, bags 1 through 3 are pretty much bag 1. I had to open those ones. Even though it's telling me that step 2 is bag 2, this is really bag 1 through 3. So just a little heads up there as we build the base of the Venusaur. Okay, so we're on step 72, just finishing the 3rd bag, I believe. Sorry, this is finishing up 4th bag. We're going into the 5th bag, and we're into our first missing piece. It's one of these little brown round pieces, so which would go right in here, but it could still show up. It might show up as an extra piece because right now we have 1 extra piece in this orange piece. So this is extra right now. So that might be in a future bag. We will see. It's not like a mandatory thing, so I'm not tripping about it. But I just wanted to mention that. So, yep, just some monotonous base building. Nothing crazy so far. So we're moving on to bag 7. Just finished bag 6, and we pretty much finished the base. This is actually pretty cool. You got all these kind of flower gribblies here. I love these fluorescent, glowing flowers. And these little flowers. Then you got these big flowers that look absolutely crazy. So I will say this diorama base looks really, really good for the Venusaur. Yeah. So we're going to move on to bag 7. Where we start to build the Venusaur. So I just finished bag 12 and we pretty much are assembling the big old booty of the Venusaur. Very nice. What I like is that there's a kind of like a hidden compartment here. You open up the booty right here and you can look inside there and there are two like green gems. Can't see it, but it's in a little hole right there. No giggities, everyone. Relax. No giggities needed. So that's pretty cool. So I'm assuming that I honestly did not really research this the build process too much. I didn't watch anyone else's videos. I just wanted to experience it myself. So I'm assuming that the Charizard and Blastoise also have kind of little gems hidden inside. Love it. Reminds me of the T-Rex from Jurassic Park set, where there's that little fossil hidden in the bricks. So pretty cool. Bags 13 and 14, we make these little feet. So each bag was one of the feet here. Very cool. Those gray pieces the toes attached to, I think it would have looked a lot more cleaner if it was the same shade of blue as the Venusaur skin. But that's just me. I think it would have looked really clean. But whatever. Bag 15, you just make half a leg. It took two bags of bag 15-1 or 15-1 and 15-2. Made one leg, half a leg. So this is probably the rear leg here. The back is still exposed. Bag 16, you just make this little joint to finish this foot. Bag 17 and 18 is done. You complete this whole leg. And right now, even without the head, the Venusaur is chonky. This is heavy. It looks good. It looks very well color matched. The joints here, the ball joint at the feet, they're very sturdy and like they're not floppy. So very good. I am so happy with this. This looks amazing so far. We're on bag 23 and we just finished the Venusaur's head. Very nice. This is already chunky and heavy. And that is some good paneling there to cover the studs. Only a few studs to really show you that it's a brick. But I love the printed pieces. Very good quality. And all the bricks really are color matched and look good. I like it. Let's get this bad boy on. This is the Venusaur before we put the bulb on the back there, this little sprout. It kind of looks weird. It's like a naked, it's so weird seeing it without its plant on top. It looks like a naked turtle. But this looks so freaking good. Just look at that. And these legs will even out so you can move them as needed to flatten it out on whatever surface. Yeah, dude, this looks so freaking good. Damn. All right, here is the end of bag 27, and we are done with the first of 3 instruction booklets. So we just finished the Venusaur, and it is looking amazing. There's one thing I thought looked odd, is that the ends of these vines are dark green compared to light green, but I looked at the actual built model, and that is also how it looks on the real one. So yeah, you're not missing anything there. And these clamps here, these are all attached by a single clamp, and it holds the whole weight of this Lego piece, which is like the leaf of the flower. So yeah, looks very, very good. So far, we're at 6 hours of work. So I think we are gonna hit the average 20 to 30 hours total of what people are reporting takes them to build this whole diorama set. But yeah, this looks sick. We were moving pretty quickly at the start, so I really thought I'd finish this in like 3 to 4 hours. And then it's when you hit the legs, and this all took like 2 to 3 hours, just the leaf part. It's just like a lot of repetitive building pieces, so yeah. Looking good so far. Here it is on the diorama piece. It kind of just sits in those little pieces of pegs, so it's not really secure. If you pick it up by the Venusaur, the diorama will fall off. And it looks like the connection pieces here for the diorama, it kind of just slides into place. So just a little tension. Actually, we got some Technic piece here, so it might just attach to the diorama piece behind it. So we'll see. I don't want to talk out of my booty hole. All right, let's move on to the next one. Just finished bag 32, and we are building the base of the Blastoise. Just a lot of tedious layering of bricks here. Nothing special, but everything is here so far. Actually, it's a lie. I'm missing one piece, so hopefully it shows up. It goes right there. We are now at our house, away from our work office here. I really wanted to knock this build out this week, so on my week off. So I brought it here. And this is what I was talking about earlier on the Venusaur. There's like a cool little homage to the starter. You have a little, it's a flame, but I think it's supposed to represent like a little water drop. So it is in the center of the starter, and then we're gonna build around it. So, and there's not even, there probably won't even be a way to see this later on. So you'll only know it's there if you had built it or knew from someone else that it is inside. So that's it. Okay, here's the body of the Blastoise so far. We have the chesticles, his arms. It's actually already pretty chunky. And then you kind of do the outline of his shell here. That little water drop is obviously inside. There's no way to open it like I thought so. So it's just in there. It's like a cool little Easter egg as you're building. So pretty cool. So far, it's like a one-to-one experience. I'm using the Lego instructions here, and yeah, they're spot on. We got the little doo-doo over here with her own Lego table, distracted. Penelope, what are you building?
Lego table chicky.
Okay, Lego table chicky. Okay, so this piece, I was struggling for an hour to figure out why this isn't fitting in here. And that's because these pieces are the wrong size compared to the real Lego. So I guess the factory gave you this bag to kind of extend these white pieces. So it should look like this. Trying to focus the camera, there you go. So you kind of put these little circle donuts to extend those pieces. This is how the shell looks with all the extensions. You can see these donuts added a lot of extension. This should help with the shell. All right, so this is the end of building the shell. This was probably the worst building I have done in recent history for Lego or bricks in general. It was just so hard to put together, and just these 4 outer shell pieces, they fit in by tension, and it's just so annoying. But it's finally over, thank God. Oh yeah, check out that Blastoise head. Looking good. And we are done with the Blastoise. This was actually the most annoying thing I've ever built in Lego or brick history that I can recall. Super annoying. I'm just glad it's over. I'm so glad it's over. It's terrible. Building the base of the Charizard now, and this is just the quality you could expect sometimes from Lepin or AliExpress Lego. Womp womp. This is actually refreshing. This is pretty simple and straightforward. And we're actually moving pretty quickly through the base of the Charizard. A simple build, finally. All right, so this is the base of the Charizard. Very nice, very nice. Not as cool as the Barad-dur basing for lava, but I think this would have looked better if for the lava they used clear red pieces, but whatever. I lied. There's one more bag where we finished putting on these little lava drips. Is that what you call it? Lava fall? So yeah. Now we're done. We're gonna move on to the Charizard. Damn, this thing took like 2 hours to build. Okay, here is the chest, I am assuming, of the Charizard. And there is the little flame. Let's try to focus on this. The little symbol that is, I'm going to assume, get covered up. So it's another Easter egg only you would know about because you can't even show it once it's fully built. So very, very cool. All right, so we got the body of the Charizard being built here. Very nice. It's actually going way faster than building this diorama piece. We got a little pizza Play-Doh made for me by my daughter. So we're energized and we're ready to just power through this thing. Those are all the bags left. All right, so we're pretty much almost done here. We have the both sexy chunky legs built. And we're gonna build the arms, head, and the tail. We have 4 bags left. Let's go! All right, so we just did the tail, and this is the flame. Very crappy. I can probably just paint it myself, but I just want to keep building, so that's like a project for a future date, which I probably will not do because I will forget. But that is the quality on that piece, probably the worst piece so far. All right, so we got the Charizard all built up on its diorama piece. Very nice, and we're actually done here. There is something missing. If you have a close eye, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's connect the diorama and see how it looks. All right, we're all done here. We have completed the diorama. Here are all the extra pieces. I think they're extra, or maybe I just forgot to put them on. Who knows? But yeah, this actually looks pretty good. We have only one complaint. The wings are not here, so I need to contact the seller to see if there are wings he can send me to put there for the Charizard. We have the Venusaur. It was actually perfect. And one other thing is that I actually lost one of the little nails for the Blastoise, so I'll probably have to just buy that. That's like a pretty common piece, the little white nail there for the Blastoise, so we'll have to get that replaced. But besides that, this actually looks really good. And we'll fast forward to the future where we can get the wings for the Charizard. Let's go. All right, we're back at the office, and I found out why we were missing wings. Apparently this wrinkly piece of dirtle was in this terrible instruction booklet that I almost tossed in the garbage in the office. So let's get these naughty boys on and see how they look. Apparently people say they like this better than the one that comes in the actual Lego set. All right, so here are the wings put on. They're actually not wrinkly. That's just like the transfer sheet they came on. It actually does not look bad at all. I actually really, really like it. It looks good. Here's how they look on the back. Maybe a little bit too oversized. You can see them kind of bunching up, but to be honest, it looks fine to me. Yeah, it looks clean, to be honest. My only complaint, oh, there goes a toe. My only complaint is this paint effect on the flames. Pretty bad. I could easily fix that with some Games Workshop paint, some Citadel paint, which we will probably do. But yeah, this was definitely worth the money, $100 on AliExpress for pretty much the same item except for the wings and the paint on the flames. And like I said, people say they prefer the AliExpress wings compared to the Lego one. And for me personally, the flames I could easily paint myself. Will take 10 minutes. I'll probably make a reel about it or a short, whatever I post it on. You guys can check that out in the future. Literally will take me 10 minutes. But yeah, definitely worth it. If you guys like this video, like and subscribe, and you can see more AliExpress Lego builds in the future. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!